Hi there. Thanks for joining me. This is Sean Wheeler. For those of you who don't know, I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. My website is purehypnosis.com. I've been at this for 17 plus years now. And during this coronavirus pandemic, I'm finding a lot of people are really starting to succumb to a great degree of hopelessness. I've been dealing for many years with my clients and sessions with hopelessness of various different types. I mean, not due to a pandemic that shut down the entire world or anything, but just due to normal things that happen in life that make it difficult for people to see past the present. And I think right now people are having a very difficult time seeing past the pandemic and imagining getting back to a normal life. And I don't mean a new normal like the politicians and scientists are talking about. I mean like normal life with birthday parties and sports events and concerts and public gatherings of large sizes. And so I came across an article a day or two ago. It talked about a survey that was commissioned that asked 1,000 U.S. adults how they envision everyday life in the wake of the coronavirus. And the number that caught my mind, there are a couple different numbers that are pretty interesting and a little bit alarming too. But the one that stands out was that according to the research, 40% of Americans, so not a small number, almost half of you guys, at least those interviewed in the survey, plan to avoid public spaces unless absolutely necessary long after the coronavirus pandemic has ended. So they asked the question, it's been over for a while, a long time. Are you going to go to concerts and ball games and movie theaters and things like that? And nearly half of you apparently are saying no, that you're not going to do these things unless absolutely necessary. So that to me speaks a lot to the mindset that's being created as a result of what's going on. So according to the research, the survey, 40% of you guys are saying that you're going to avoid public spaces. So ball games, movie theaters, concerts, the 4th of July events, going to avoid this long after the pandemic has ended. So this isn't just, until the uncertainty is gone, but this is long after the pandemic has ended. So this is a testament to, I think, what's happening as a result of people staying home too much and watching the news too much. Because look, when you envision the future, when you think about what you're going to be able to do, what you're going to be comfortable with, what the world is going to be like, and I'm talking 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years from now, it's just so early to be able to say, what life is going to be like and what risk is going to be there due to catching a virus. I mean, people a lot of you guys are just really too absorbed with the vision or the apocalyptic scenarios that are being painted by people on television these days. Look, even these doctors, even the most respected doctors, Anthony Fauci, some of these others who get up and they speak at press conferences, they speak on the news all the time, and they're giving their forecasts and they're saying that we can't have a normal life until there's a vaccine introduced. We're never going to shake hands again. We're never going to hug people that we don't know again or that don't live with us again. And the truth is that, look, it's way too early. These doctors and scientists, they might be very smart people. Most of them are. And most of them are actually very well intentioned, But the truth is that none of them individually have a crystal ball that they can see the future. They're making their best guesses and they're making statements of opinion based on what they know. So as you're watching this stuff, if you do, reading these articles, you've got to keep in mind that this doesn't mean that it's a certainty. That what is being described, basically people are describing scenarios of the future that are causing you in your head to make pictures and movies of what that future is going to be like, okay? And as a result of those pictures and movies, you have feelings, okay? And mostly anxiety and stress. So you have to be very mindful of the fact that it's not reality, okay? You have this expectation of what things are going to be like, how much danger there's going to be, what risk there's going to be, how long it's going to last, what life is going to be like. But these are pictures in your head, or a dialogue that you say to yourself. I'm in the field of hypnosis and NLP, and what we do, my job is to help people to change the way that they think and feel. So it's the structure of subjective experience. So regardless of what facts are out there, I put facts in quotes because, like the WHO, like these other agencies and the predictions that were made of 2 million dead in America, like these are people who, work for agencies that the vast majority of the world thinks are respectful and legitimate, but they make predictions that are wrong all the time. There have been predictions of global warming that have been wrong. There have been predictions about the economy that have been wrong. And so the predictions that are being made now, many of them are going to be wrong. And you need to remember that just because credible people say these things or agencies say these things doesn't mean that they're true. These are people, these are human beings who are doing the best they can to give predictions and to form opinions based on what they know at the time, but they don't know the future. So the key message here that I want people to have is like, look, if half of you are saying, I don't know that I'm going to be able to, I plan to avoid anything unless it's necessary. Now think about that. Think about unnecessary, like, 40% of Americans plan to avoid public spaces unless absolutely necessary. Well, think about what that means. Think about if you lived your life that way all the time, meaning in the absence of a pandemic. Because I get clients who are agoraphobic, I get clients who are claustrophobic and they avoid elevators. Agoraphobic people avoid going out into public. And that's not even because they're afraid of a virus. They have all sorts of strange fears and experiences and movies in their head and words they say to themselves that keep them stuck, right? The reason it's a disorder, the reason it's not healthy mentally to think that way is because this isn't just about survival, meaning we're not here on this planet just to eke along in existence until we die of natural causes 50 years from now. We're here on this planet to have an experience, okay? That experience inherently involves risk. Okay, so think about it. Everything that you do that's meaningful, okay, there's not a damn thing that you do that's meaningful that doesn't involve risk. Okay, if you're going to drive in your car, there's risk of getting into a car accident. It's been present the entire time that cars have existed in all mankind. Now you have to ask yourself, do you every time that you get in a car worry about getting into a car accident? No. And you don't have to, because if you're smart, what you do is you wear a seatbelt and you drive a safe car and you obey most of the laws of the road. I say most of, violated the speed limit once or twice. So the thing is that you take all the necessary precautions and then you forget about the risk, okay? Because if you don't travel in cars, if you don't accept that risk, then your quality of life is significantly less. Okay, that means if you stay at home all the time because you're afraid of getting in a car accident, you just refuse to go in cars, then you won't be able to visit relatives, you won't be able to go places, see movies, go have dinner with friends, all the things that really make life meaningful, going to see your kids play in sports events. All these things that we treasure the most involve a certain degree of risk. It's just a question of how much. Okay, so when the coronavirus pandemic, begins to subside, it's not going to be all at once, but as things begin to gradually return to more of a normal, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 27, whatever it is, okay, there always will be a risk of going out and contracting a coronavirus or any virus, of just, more people are going to die from the regular flu over probably the next decade, as far as anyone can tell. So you have to make your decisions based on what kind of life do I want to live? What kind of risk am I willing to accept? Okay, because if you avoid for the rest of your life concerts, sporting events, big parties and outdoor, summer events and going out for the 4th of July and watching the fireworks, if you avoid all those things, then you're going to live and you're going to survive, and maybe you won't get the coronavirus, or maybe you won't get, be part of a pandemic. But what kind of a life will you be living? Is it really worthwhile? And you have to ask yourself that. For me, the idea of living a life where I'm forever shut behind closed doors and where I don't get to hug people, shake hands, play sports, watch my daughter, do swim competitions, go to amusement parks, that kind of a life isn't really all that appealing to me. And I don't think it's appealing to a lot of people. And so what's going to happen is that people, Americans, as well as people throughout the world, are going to innovate. Okay, what people are going to do is they're going to find solutions, because other people, just like me, want to have those experiences forever and ever. And they may not know now, we might not know now what we're going to do to create a normal that's more like what we've had before. I only know that people are tenaciously going to pursue that, meaning medical treatments, innovations, inventions, information technology, all kinds of different things that will help to lower the risk to such a degree that we'll be able to do those things again, okay? I don't have the answers. I don't know what the heck they're gonna do. But the reason I'm smiling and I'm not stressed out is because I genuinely believe that those things are gonna happen. You see, people have a hard time in a moment seeing that there's a solution. Like, if you don't know what the solution is, that doesn't mean there is none. And if the scientists don't have one yet, and if the doctors don't have one, and if the government officials don't know how we're gonna make this happen, that doesn't mean that they're not gonna figure it out. Over time, they will. So keep in mind, I've been telling people off and on in videos and client sessions and friends all throughout this shutdown, I've been telling people that, look, what you've got to do is you've got to avoid getting too much in your head. And you've got to be aware that when you watch the news, when you listen to experts, or even real experts without quotes, when you listen to experts speak, you've got to remember that they're creating movies in your head that essentially are affecting your emotions. Okay? And if those movies in your head are apocalyptic, catastrophic, depressing, life never resumes to normal, then that's how you're going to feel in the present. So be mindful of the fact that that's what's happening in your head. It's not that the future is being told. It's not that things, that facts and evidence about how things are going to be is being told to you right now, and this is what it is. This is just ideas and thought and opinions. All it is. So stay grounded in the present. And stay focused on what you can handle in any given moment. Most important thing that you can do. And if you want to avoid getting sick, remember, stress and anxiety weaken the immune system, okay? You are vibrating. When you're tense, you're actually vibrating and tensing and stressing your muscles and all the different parts of your body. That takes energy. It drains that energy away from your immune system. So if you want to have a strong immune system, then you need to be relaxed. And there are thousands of studies that show the correlation between stress and physical illness. Okay, people that are stressed, ulcers, all sorts of stress-related illnesses because it's weakening your immune system. So relax, stay positive, focus on what you can control and not on what you can't. Don't watch too much of the damn news. Okay, take care of your family, give time to gratitude, get sleep and rest and exercise and all those things. Just do that one day at a time, okay? And trust that over time what's going to happen is information is going to come out slowly but surely over time that's going to start to make you think of how things like 60,000 people in an arena watching a football game is going to happen, or how you're going to feel comfortable in a movie theater with people right next to you. I don't think we're going to go the rest of mankind and have like 6 feet in between every human being, every public space that we go. Okay, some stuff is temporary, some stuff is going to be long term. So just keep that in mind. Don't freak out too much. Stay positive. And take care of yourself. Take care of you, okay? If you do those things, what's going to happen is you're going to wake up someday and there's going to be something positive on the news that makes you feel like a profound sense of relief. And so I'll leave you with this one last thought, okay? Think about how many times you worried about stuff that you thought might happen, okay? Whether you thought that you get fired from a job, or whether you thought that you might be sick, or whether you thought that there's a big money problem that was going to come up, and you worried about it and worried about it and worried about it and worried about it for months, and then it came and went, and it wasn't a catastrophe. And how many times do you look back after an experience like that and thought, man, I wish I hadn't worried so much, And so now is that time, okay? You can learn from those experiences from the past. No matter how unprecedented this is, no matter how unusual it is that the whole damn world is behind closed doors or whatever, you've got to remember that it's just another experience in life, okay? And because you don't know the future, it's not beneficial for you to sit around and stress and worry about it. But it's better for you just to trust that we'll figure it out. We as a human race are going to figure out how to manage and how to move forward and how to have a joyful life again. We're going to do it. We don't know exactly when, we don't know exactly how, but we're going to do it because the will is there. And when the will is there, then innovation's going to happen. People are going to work toward it. They're going to make it happen. And then you're going to look back someday and you're going to think, damn, remember when in April or May of 2020, when we thought we might never attend a sporting game again? Remember when we thought we might never shake hands again? Wow, yeah, that was a crazy time.